1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't want to die.
Good.
Hey there, boys and girls. It's Ralph Garman, and you're listening to Talking Codswallop. Good choice.
Hello, everybody. This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Man. You might know me from the Tell 'em Steve Dave podcast and the I Sell Comics podcast. Listen, I love podcasting. I love talking, but what I really love doing is talking Codswallop.
Hey, I'm Alicia Witt.
I'm Daniel Portman from Game of Thrones. I play Podrick Payne.
I'm Ellipses, and you're listening to the Talking... Okay, I'm Mark Bernard, and you're listening to the Talking Codswallop podcast.
Hey, man, it's Kevin Smith, Silent Bob, whose voice you were never used to hearing in the 90s until I started opening it up, man. And that's because I'm a podcaster, and you're listening to a podcast, Talking Codswallop, right here, man.
La 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 la. My goodness. Welcome to the very singy-songy episode of Talking Codswallop.
Who said anything about singing?
I never heard the boys so theatrical in all my life. I am Gemma.
I'm James.
And I am Andrew.
Oh.
And here's Andy.
Andrew's gone all serious on this.
Well, Gemma mentioned that dirty P word. Professional.
Oh dear. Never, never.
Ooh, I don't think I ever said professional, did I? I'll listen back to the audio, but I don't think I ever said professional.
As Mike Plano would say. Just hit rewind 30 seconds. What did Gemma say?
Okay. Well, maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. We'll find out in the edit.
And then he'll be removed.
I think what's happening is Andy's just feeling very, very guilty about not being professional enough.
All right. Eeyore will come then.
Yeah.
Okay, Andy, I'd like to apologise. I have never ever thought of you as professional before in my life, and I should never assume that you're professional. So I'm ever so sorry. I will take it all back.
Yeah, the Masters debaters would be very upset with you that you made an assumption.
I know. Are we giving free plugs to other podcasts nowadays, are we?
Oh, no, you made us fucking do it at the fucking start, didn't you?
But nobody...
Yeah. Only crossovers will hear that.
Yeah, only people that listen to another podcast on the Known Phony Podcast Network, which, for the record, guys, I've never referenced before, but this is actually a network that we're part of. So thank you ever so much for letting us join. And we are actually Podcast of the Month.
Ooh.
So thank you.
First. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yes, so another podcast is called Politics for Dummies. Correction. The podcast is actually called Politics with Dummies, not for dummies, with dummies. So now don't I feel a bit like a dummy? Yes, I do. Sorry about that, listeners. You know me. I like to get things wrong from time to time because it's my little Gemmerisms. Anyway, you should go and check out that podcast. So Politics with Dummies. I'd also like to publicly apologise to J Ray and Loop Dog for getting it wrong. Sorry, guys. Kind of guess what they're about. They're celebrating 50 episodes. So we've done a little kind of soundbite for them, which I'm sure that they'll be pleased with. And if they're not, then fuck them.
Yeah, fucking hope they're happy with it.
Perhaps our listeners would like to drop them a big congrats. Hashtag fuck them.
Yeah. Hashtag middle finger.
Yeah.
Or actually send them all. So they are, let me get their Twitter handle up. Hold on a moment.
I'd suggest there's something very swearing abusive is sent their way.
Okay, so they are at With Dummies on Twitter. If you go to the GIF section and if you type in middle finger umbrella and all send them that and say that it's from the Talking Codswallop podcast, we would appreciate it.
We'll love you forever. Do it.
Yeah. I assume you guys have seen that, have you? That GIF?
We'll do by the time this airs.
Indeed we will.
Okay, yeah, so look it up. Before we crack on with our What a Load of Codswallop, last week's episode, we were having such a fun time at the end of the episode with the British... What was it called? Like, it was all about British mannerisms and things like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then off mic, Andy mentioned, what was it, Renaissance memes?
Yep.
Yeah, and I was thinking that maybe we could start the episode on a bit of a giggle. So obviously, listeners, we'll give you a couple of seconds to type in Renaissance memes. And hopefully by now that you've done that. So obviously if you're driving, please don't do it. Andy has shared his screen with us, so that is very kind of him.
And you click on images.
Oh, and click on images, yes.
There's a particularly good one about a spoon.
Oh, yeah. So the first one you come to is when you're in the kitchen at 2 a.m. and you drop a spoon. But again, you need to see the pictures because they are just so hilarious.
This is what I like. The beauty about this is it's something that's very interactive for our listeners.
Well, perhaps Gemma could tweet some of these out.
Yes, I think that would be a very good idea. Maybe we could save them after we recorded, though, Andy.
Spoon.
No, I'm multitasking. Me have idea. Me must action.
Hi. So this is the section where Andy is actually multitasking, and now we have to pause because he isn't, in fact, multitasking. Yeah.
Drop spoon.
Drop spoon. Drop spoon.
Yeah. Da-da. Da-da, 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 just like that.
I did.
Da-da, 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 da-da.
Just waiting to be attacked by a cat.
And now, Gemma, you can take out 10 minutes of audio.
10 minutes of like white noise.
Yeah. Leave white noise in for 10 minutes.
Yeah. No. We might do it for a couple of minutes, but yeah, not 10. So yeah, at the end of last week's episode, we were killing ourselves laughing with a Twitter handle that was all about the typical things that British people say. Off mic, Andy told us about Renaissance memes. So listeners, as long as you're not driving, or if you're driving, pull over because you've got nowhere else to be better. You know, just if you're on the way to work or whatever, definitely pull over for a couple of minutes.
Use your time productively and listen to us.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, if you type in Renaissance memes and then obviously go to images, we have saved a few of our favourites because we were absolutely dying with laughter, weren't we?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like to the point that I was actually holding my side because I was laughing that hard. So one of them is when you're in the kitchen at 2 a.m. and you drop a spoon and the faces of a, oh, face.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. The widest eyes and the widest mouth in the world.
The ultimate oh shit moment.
Yeah. Or somebody's put something up your bum.
Oh, doctor.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think that was there.
Oh, that's not my prostate.
So the next image is me in the mirror versus me in photos. And it's like, it's the grandest picture on the left-hand side of somebody who's stood very regal. And then it's the picture on the right-hand side is an absolute ugly motherfucker.
Yeah. But I was born like this.
Yeah. The ultimate sign of inbreeding.
Yeah.
Really, that's what Prince Charles looks like.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, his hair is kind of over his ears, so we can't tell for definite, but, oh dear.
We've got a twofer for you here.
Go on then, James, you read these ones out.
We've got trying to take a selfie in 1646, which presents the brilliant thing of looking at yourself and trying to paint yourself at the same time. And on a flashback to what we said last time, the look of shock when someone touches your neck. A marble cutting of somebody with the most poking out eyes you've ever seen. An expression of what the...
Not the neck! Not the neck!
What was that?
Yeah, touch anywhere else but my neck, please, please.
George, what have I told you about touching my neck?
And going back to the trying to take a selfie one, the guy's expression, the one who's looking, like he's looking into the mirror and he's kind of, really?
Yeah.
Do I really look like that?
Oh, I'm getting a touch of, tiger.
Yeah. I think he's giving himself a more pronounced jawline on his own selfie.
Okay, next one.
Sits 27 hours for oil painting. OMG, God, delete that. I'm serious, Bartholomew. Do not hang that in the Great Hall.
Yes. She's very unimpressed, isn't she?
Oh, I suppose what we'll do is we'll put these up on social media as well so that people can look at them so that, after the episode's dropped. But...
that feeling when you go out for a quiet meal and some fucker at the next table starts painting you.
It's the same sort of look I give when noisy people come into a restaurant or people with kids.
Yeah.
Fuck! Go away!
This guy has got a proper I'm going to kill you look on his face, hasn't he?
And she's like, what are they doing? Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah,
are they painting us?
Ooh, look at them.
And then there's another woman who's sniffing her wine because that's how she thinks she should drink it.
Looking all coy in the background.
Yeah, I think we've got like a possible Kardashian with that one going like, oh yeah, I could become famous from this.
It's like Peaky Blinders meets Kardashians.
Yeah.
Trying to break the Renaissance.
I'm more interested by the person who's near the cat in the top left. It looks like they've just got the most sticking out teeth ever in the background.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
What they're doing is photobombing it, aren't they? Look.
And then, the young lady that he said was leaning in, she looks like she's got part of the tablecloth on her head. Next one. Oh, this is my favourite one. So this one is, when you photobomb your wife's painting, but now have to stand still for 13 hours.
We found Gem's ultimate favourite with this last one, though. Oh, yes. This is Gemma's favourite.
Is this bringing flashbacks, Gem?
You can tell by Gemma's reaction she loves this
yes.
Go on, Gemma, you've got to introduce this one.
Okay, so the last one is testing out your highest setting on your vibrator. This person, I think it's a girl, has got eyes, literally going googly eyes.
Looks like her eyes are about to pop out of the head.
And she's got her O face on.
Yeah.
It's definitely a vibrator face.
And that indeed was our last one.
Ooh.
Yep. Okay, well that's a little bit sad, but yeah, hopefully you guys have been looking at those pictures at the same time. But if not, like I said, we will put them up on social media, so Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and they're all to be found at Codswallop Pod. I nearly called it Podswallop Pod. So yeah, at Codswallop Pod. Right, so we've had a bit of a giggle. I guess we should really get into our what a load of Codswallop.
Let's bring Andy down to his base level.
Yeah, no, let's just bring the listeners down. Let's piss them off.
We've taken you to the highs and now you're on the really, really lows.
Yeah, we reeled them in like fish on a wave.
Oh yeah, fish. Fish on a hook.
Fish on a rod. They're suckered in now. They can't wait to listen to the next bit and do.
And now we're going to beat them over the head with an oar.
Yeah. Woo-hoo.
Now let's hope that we've timed this perfectly, that our listeners are now stuck in gridlock traffic, expecting some nice, joyous, calming things.
Yeah, they're probably feeling suicidal because they're in traffic and bored, but if they're not, by the end of this.
Yeah. So if we could all now close our browsers, let's turn off Renaissance memes because we do need your full attention.
The happy times are over.
We need to bring you down.
Right. Although I might save mine till last because I have got a couple of funny stories to go along with mine.
Sweet.
So.
Okay, so James, floor is yours.
Well, my big Codswallop was something that, in fact, Gemma and I have both seen this, was the fact that some woman had she conned the NHS into giving her a nose job because she was allegedly depressed and had mental health problems. And basically admitted, I think it was on This Morning, wasn't it? She admitted that it was all bullshit.
It was.
And basically £5,000 of NHS money that could be spent on other things, say treatment of cancer or other serious illnesses, this woman wasted, fraudulently claimed and wasted this money to have a nose job. For what ends? Her argument was it was a mental health problem. Original nose was causing her issues, and obviously she needed to be treated for that. And she basically just turned around and admitted it's bollocks. And
it was for vanity.
For vanity. And to say this sort of thing really, really hacks me off is like an absolute utter understatement. My personal view, and I found if you'd followed what I said on Twitter, was the fact that if she seemed to have committed fraud, she should be investigated by the police.
Hold on. What was that?
It was a motorbike going past.
Okay,
I thought that was Jim slowly backing away from the table.
He's getting angry again.
Yeah. He's going to see you next Tuesday.
And I'll see you both next Tuesday.
Yeah.
And sorry,
whoever I am, yes.
Carry on. Yeah, no, that noise was very eerie and weird, so I had to check what that
the other
noise
scary
was.
thing is the windows are shut, so imagine how loud that thing must be. It was the thing that I said, that if she's fraudulently claimed and is admitting that she's done this, I can't say the word, but she's done this basically illegally.
Duplicity.
Thank you. Surely they should be looking at reclaiming the money from her, but the big thing is the police should be looking at her, investigating for fraud, because what she's done is basically committed a fraudulent act. The big thing that I get on anything like this, and we're straying to something else, and it's probably a bit political, but my view is simply that people who are going in and are hammering the NHS through, say, drug abuse or alcohol usage, or, say, they're creating abusive problems and violence in A&E, say, on a Saturday night, really, they should be looking at charging people financially for this. It's the same thing that I'm seeing with this woman, that basically £5,000 could be spent elsewhere, and I'd be looking at taking the money back from her. If she's openly admitting that she's done this, by lying and immorally.
Well, I read through the Twitter storm, so somebody on my timeline had retweeted it, and I was going through the comments, and the amount of self-righteous people who were screenshotting their report fraud reports that they'd logged on the NHS website. So the NHS are obviously fully aware of this now. So I hope, I hope in my hope of hopes of hearts, that in my heart of hearts, even in English,
the hoping of hearts and the hearting of hearts.
Yeah, exactly. I hope they go to the fullest extent of the law on that.
Well, I think it would be a good idea because they've got to make an example.
Yeah. And it's not just the NHS. It's because I would raise that up to a Codswallop of people where it's all about me.
Oh God, yeah.
Self-indulgent people.
Yeah, I will fleece the system for my personal gain because I can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just going back
because I bet people do that at
sorry.
food banks. Sorry, I bet there are people who go to food banks who genuinely do not need to go to food banks.
Correct. There will be. Definitely will be.
And that's why we're seeing the figures on food banks going so high, because I bet there are people out there gaming the system.
Yeah, definitely. But there's always people, isn't there, that are going to be like that, unfortunately. I mean, Christ, look at the, the entertainment TV shows that we have. That's like, there was Doll Street or something like that, which, basically the people are so poor, but they can afford a not 14-inch TV, because that's not really that great, is it? But, a 50 inch?
I saw this in my old job where you'd see people prioritising. They would complain that, say, they were having issues, maybe benefits, issues of that nature, or they didn't have money to spend on things, and they wouldn't spend money on the rent, but they had, like a giant television, they had to have Sky, they had to have a brand new iPhone. Now, these are not people doing this all the time, but I can't understand the mentality of these people at all. It makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Especially when they're second and third generation welfare claimants who have had the opportunity of the education system that maybe the first generation of the family welfare claimants didn't have. But because they've been told that it's okay, the state will pay for you, and that's not anyone else but their own family saying, I've got this money for free, you don't need to study.
Yeah.
Well, going off that and going back to our nose job friend, I'd be very interested to know why she's done where this thought has come from that she can do this. What makes her think? Because what rat-minded person would think, I'm going to lie and abuse this system to get a nose job?
And then go on national TV and brag about it and claim that this is the lesson she's teaching her child, because that's the kind of the reason why she came out of it, is because she said she told her child, this is how you get ahead in life. I don't know if she has a daughter or a son, I can't remember, but...
Do you know what really annoys me? That there are genuine people out there who... Okay, yes, we could say, I mean, James, you mentioned about people with drinking problems and things like that. Obviously, if they're actually an alcoholic, that is a disability. Not a disability, but it is an illness, a disease. Yeah. But also, it's like you have got the sort of obese people, which, okay, yes, you could turn around and say, I'll just get to the gym. You could get, eat something healthy. But for some people, that's not the answer. They do need that extra bit of help, especially when they're really big.
Yeah.
I read today that there was a girl in Wales. She's a UK size 12, but she has to wear a UK size 18 top because she's got double G breasts.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Sorry. When I asked why, my brain then went, okay, I get it. Yeah.
God, Jem, you should know these things.
I know, babies.
And she's been refused the breast reduction treatment on the NHS, and she's got a clear medical need because she is, for want of a better phrase, she is top heavy. It's doing her physical harm of her back. I don't need to preach to the girls on this, but maybe some boys don't understand physics.
But what you are is you're spot on. In fact, you both are spot on what you said, and this goes through the crux of everything we've discussed, which is the fact that looking at the points we discussed on people who are, say, claimants and the way they're spending money, looking at the people who are abusing the NHS, looking at people who work in systems, the problem you get through all of this, and I'll harken back to what with my former employment, is the fact that you have the genuine people who really, really need help, who have real problems,
and they can't
do anything, who can't, they can't look after themselves, they can't do things, they have medical problems. And the problem you have is that it's ruined in the way society looks at it. We're guilty of it in our discussion now. The way society looks at it is you have people who are wrecking things, poisoning the well and creating so much distrust that it ruins it for the people who generally need help. And you only see a real sort of response in the media when it's someone who's basically screwing the system over. But it then wrecks everything for the people who genuinely need help. My rant is coming to an end on that. But I am...
And that's what begot universal credit.
Yeah.
Because it was that overreaction of the politicians and society to say enough is enough, that we've put genuine people into harm's way and actually have died as a result of universal credit because they've been told they are fit to go back to work or their credits will stop. They've had a reduction in payments.
And again, that comes from the problem with the people who've absolutely abused the system, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, soon enough, though, it's gonna change, isn't it? And we're gonna have to start paying like America does, if this carries on.
Yeah.
And I don't want to pay for medical care. Not when I've lived 36 years on this planet and I haven't had to pay for it. Do you know what I mean? It's like
we've had to pay in a sense through tax, but I know what you mean. There is. Yeah.
So like national insurance and things, that big chunk of money that comes out of my wages every month, that is annoying. But yeah.
But the problem you have, it's taking a battery. It's taking absolute not a battery. And it's not just from the people who are abusing the system. It's from just in general the problem we have that people are living longer, having more complex medical needs. I always say that if you look at the NHS is a great thing. But if you step back and looked at it and someone said to you now, right, well, so imagine there's no NHS. And someone said to you, right, well, we're going to create this system where everybody pays tax into it to treat every medical illness in the country. And it's going to be run basically sort of by the state through taxes and whatnot. You'd look at it and go, God, this system's bonkers. How is this going to work? So I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying if you look at the system, the ask from that system is huge.
Yeah. Hi, listeners. Gemma from the future here. Unfortunately, I'm having to step in because one of us lost our audio at this point. So it wasn't me. It wasn't James. Can you guess who it was? But anyway, that's by the by. Accidents happen and Andy's audio did disappear at this point. So I'm going to fast forward to my Codswallop, and then we've also recorded another episode which I'm going to tie all together. So don't worry, it's going to be as usual, standard really, and you can hopefully enjoy it still. But yes, at this point you won't hear Andy for a little while, but then you'll start hearing him again. So all you Andy fans out there, or your Eeyore fans should I call you, don't worry, he will be back. The hatred of seagulls. So for the listeners out there who don't know what a seagull sounds like, I'm gonna put the audio in right now. Yeah, so seagulls.
Ugh.
I've got a few stories to tell with regards to them, but the fact that they are so vicious, there was a family in the north somewhere, I can't remember where, it doesn't matter really.
Some seaside town, probably.
No, it wasn't. It was an inland. It was an inland town as well, which I know doesn't make sense, but because they're called seagulls. Anyway, so this couple, they were basically trapped in their house because every time they went out of their front door, the seagull would attack them. And that's, how vicious these bastards are. And also, from a personal point of view, literally, and also probably other people's point of view as well, you go and you wash your car and it's all lovely and clean. And then you've got the seagull that's lined up, waiting to shit all over your car so that, you've ruined what you've just done. But my two funny stories to go along with it was talking about them shitting on cars. My friend at work has got a convertible car.
No. Oh, no.
Yeah, indeed. So she's driving along merrily, and all of a sudden she hears what sounds like almost like a gunshot, but not quite as loud. Literally, the seagull is firing poo all the way across the fact that where her roof would be, basically. Luckily, it didn't go on her. It didn't, actually go on her, but it went on the back of her seat. It went literally all along the side, and she got, the car got covered. And it was like it's like a scene from, going around the twist, So that was quite comical when she was telling us that. And my other story, which I quite like telling, is there's a place called Lyme Regis, which isn't a million miles away from me, probably about an hour's drive. It's a lovely place, and you can sort of go, it's very by the water and it's very seasidey. I went there with my friend, and we were sat on a wall and we were kind of like shoulder to shoulder, very close to each other. So there was a little bit of a gap. We weren't sat right on top of each other. It's relevant to the story, just so you know. I'm not just telling you that for no reason. I had this tuna and sweet corn sandwich, which was the best sandwich that I'd ever tasted. And I salivate over this sandwich so much because what happened was that I took one bite of this sandwich, which again, I reiterate, was the best tuna and sweet corn sandwich that I'd ever tasted.
I bet you dream about this sandwich, don't you?
Yeah, I do. It was that kind of, it had that kind of texture where it wasn't too soggy, it wasn't too dry, it was just perfect. Everything about this sandwich was perfect, okay? So I go to take my second bite of this this delicious tuna roll. And the seagull actually swoops between me and my friend. So remembering that we're like shoulder to shoulder practically. So it literally swoops between the two of our heads, steals the roll out of my hand and flies off with it. But it actually steals the roll and leaves the wrapper in my hand.
See, that bird clearly had good taste.
Yeah. But then to follow up with this story, there was a guy who was kind of sat just in front of us, and he was sort of watching and he was sort of laughing at, the fact that that had happened, and my friend was killing herself laughing. I was just looking at my wrapper feeling very sad, and because again it was an amazing tuna sandwich. And so this guy's killing himself laughing. He starts walking off. Then the seagull decides to drop the tuna roll on top of this guy's head. And then I started laughing. So, as much as I don't like them, equally, that situation was quite funny. So, yeah. That's the end of my story.
Okay, you win, Jen.
Thank you. That's why I thought I'd go last, because I love that story and that tuna sandwich. There you have it, folks. End of part 1. Part 2 is just on its way, but I thought in the meantime, why don't you listen to an awesome song? This one is by a band called Jackdaw Train, and you can find them on Twitter at Jackdaw Train, so it's capital J and capital T for train, and they are a 6-piece band from Portsmouth, England. Influences come from folk music, rock music, Americana, through to traditional folk. Really good track. I really like this one. So I hope you enjoy it, and then you will get to hear part 2 of this episode.
All your time, away now. Don't be wasting all your life. Nothing better, nothing fine. Don't be wishing all your life. Away. What you gonna do with a new today? What you gonna do when it comes your way? What you gonna do with the choice you find? Leave it alone and get a hold of your life. What you gonna do with a new today? What you gonna do when it comes your way? What you gonna do with the choice you find? Leave it alone and get a hold of your life. Leave it alone and get a hold of your life. Believe me, when it's gone, you'll have to say goodbye to all the years you wish that you had tried. Explain itself. You must start living it for yourself. So what you say? Don't be wasting all your life. Nothing better, nothing right. Don't be wishing all your time. Way now. Don't be wasting all your life. Nothing better, nothing fine. Don't be wishing all your time. Away. What you gonna do with a new today? What you gonna do when it comes your way? What you gonna do with the choice you find? Leave it alone and get a hold of your life. What you gonna do with a new today? What you gonna do when it comes your way? What you gonna do with the choice you find? Leave it alone and get a hold of your life. you gonna do with a new today?
What you gonna do when it comes your way?
What you gonna do with the choice you find?
Leave it alone and get a hold of your life.
What you gonna do with a new today?
What you gonna do when it comes your way?
What you gonna do with the choice you find? Leave it alone and get a hold of your life. Leave it alone and get a hold of your life. Leave it alone and get a hold of your life. Leave it alone and get a hold of your life. Your life, don't leave it alone. 'Cause it's your life, don't leave it alone. 'Cause it's your life, don't leave it alone. 'Cause it's your life, don't leave it alone.
I'm really hot again.
Menopause.
No, it's not menopause, you arsehole. It's been really hot weather. I'm too young to be menopausal.
It affects anyone of any age.
Yeah, all right, Andy. Maybe one day I'd like to have kids, all right? Just because you can do the deed for as long as you like. It's not fair.
Oh, no. No, we get menopause as well.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get, you end up just getting older. It's things like, isn't it? I think your body fat goes up, your libido drops, etc., etc.
And apparently men also get their time of the month where they're not necessarily the same as women, but our hormone, testosterone levels will peak and rise, so there'll be times where we're just not feeling it.
They will ebb and flow.
All right.
Yes.
Like the tide.
So basically, Andy, does yours have the complete opposite then? That you're really happy for that week?
I'm listless and restless.
Aww.
Yeah.
I was going to say you'd be happy and you'd be creeping out your neighbours. Why is she so happy? La, 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 la. Morning.
Skipping with a little basket with flowers in.
Yeah.
That's what I'm imagining you.
Have the kitties on a leash and off we go for our little morning jog.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear. Yeah. I've seen somebody walking a bunny rabbit with a lead before.
What?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Was it their service rabbit?
I think so.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
It's an emotional support rabbit, I think you mean, Andy.
Oh, hand on heart, have you seen one in the UK?
An emotional support creature. I have.
Yeah.
No.
Not to my knowledge, anyway.
Unless it's ironic. No. Obviously.
I've seen guide dogs.
Yeah, I was going to say obviously guide dogs, but yeah, otherwise, no. I think that is potentially only an American thing.
Yeah.
I saw somebody who had these emotional support things, and they had a chicken. I couldn't for the life of me work it out.
Those eyes.
But I'm just like, why have you got a chicken?
Because
It's
they're
my emotional support.
nickel.
Oh my God, that's worthy of me. Well done, Gemma.
Thank you.
Oh, that was a good one.
Thank you. I'm here all night.
And she's free, listeners.
Oh yeah. I don't charge anything.
And this is why James is trying to pimp me out.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm free.
Yeah.
Oh, James, if you can get some money for me, it's fine. Carry on.
Well, what I'll do is I'll pimp both of you out then.
Oh, all right then. Only to the finest, though, for me. I do desire a special, etiquette. Can you imagine? I really don't.
When I've got my big pimp hat and coat,
Yeah. Want to go to McDonald's for your dinner? Oh, yeah, that sounds good. All right, let's do it.
All right, next time we're going to Nando's.
I did want to give a little shout out to a podcast. Just recently found them because I've done a bit of networking sort of behind the scenes sort of thing. So, which has been lots of fun and talking to new people. And it's quite nice because they're all starting listening to us and I'm listening to quite a lot of their podcasts as well. So I've got an awful lot of podcasts to listen to at the moment. So yes, fun.
You're taking one for the team there, Jem.
Yeah,
well done.
yeah. And I did say fun in a sarcastic way, but actually it is quite fun because, like, with my commute back and forth to work, it is always quite fun to actually listen to something different. So I've already gained a couple of favourites, but one that I really do like, and I think Andy, you'd like them, and probably James, you would too, is a podcast called Killer Rabbit, and they're very new. And they've only got 5 episodes at the moment, but already really good. And I hate them because they're really good. Fuck them. Do you know what I mean? Why am I giving them an out? No, not really. But, they are really...
No, she really does mean that. Go on,
I am jealous.
Jealousy.
I am extremely jealous. I did tell them that I was jealous. But they are a really, really good podcast, and they've got it. They're kind of nailing it from day one, and it's not fair because when you're a podcast, you're supposed to grow, and the earlier episodes of Talking Codswallop was shit. So,
So basically what you're saying is Gorbadell was right. Every time my friend succeeds, a little part of me dies inside.
Pretty much. But no, I think on a serious note though, because this is a genuine sort of recommendation to actually go and check those guys out. The only thing is though, Andy, they're not on Podbean, so I don't know how you would find them if there's any others. So you might have to do a bit of investigating. Sorry, bud. Or get an iPhone, but I know what you feel about that.
No, the reason why the heavy site was one of the podcasts that I listened to, Your Receipts podcast. They just announced on this week's episode that they're going 100% to Spotify, and that's the only place where you can get their shows.
Do you have to pay for them?
You don't necessarily have to pay to get the shows on Spotify, but you need Spotify app, and I'm just like, no, enough already. I just want one app where I can get all my fucking content.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've got YouTube, I've got Google, I've got Podbean, and then I've got BBC Sounds, Now TV, Virgin.
I think we found Andy's Codswallop for the week.
No, not yet. I don't think we have.
I'm warming up.
Worse.
I'm warming up, James. No, but no, that's it. It goes back to what I was saying when I was with, the PBR calling the shots, Mike and Ming, about TV.
Name drop.
No, okay. Well, let's change it to the Talking Sports.
No, just carry on as you were.
Yeah.
Because James Bitt's going to get cut out.
Yeah. Okay.
James.
Excellent. Thanks, Jem.
You're welcome, Andy.
It's just like the future. It's just like I don't want to pay all these massive subscription fees just for 2 or 3 shows. So it was just. And that's how I feel about having to go off to other platforms. It's like, I just want one platform.
Yeah, see, if you give in to having an iPhone or an iPod or something like that, you would have, because everything is always on iTunes. Everything goes onto iTunes or Apple Podcasts as it's called now.
Yeah, I just don't like being told what to do and what to buy. So you have to buy Apple stuff. Whereas with Androids, you can just go into PC World and grab any cheap cable and not pay through the nose because it's an Apple.
No, you don't.
Cable.
No. I've got loads of cables that you can just buy off the shelf, at a petrol station or whatever. And
but they only work with an iPhone. They don't, with something that you plug into your phone you can use for your if those have still got cameras, but the USB cables that you get with Android, you can use them with any device that needs micro USB. And, and then the AirPods, and it's like, nah.
Yeah. But then if you did get yourself just an iPod or something like that, and then
it's just another device, and that goes to my argument.
Okay.
It scares me, Andy. This is you now. What the hell are you going to like as an old man?
I know, I can't wait.
10 years from now.
Just have to wait that long.
No, Andy, you don't need to wait that long.
No, I think you're going to be a brilliant old man. You just hate everybody. You're shouting at kids.
Just to go back to
technology.
I know. But to go back to the podcast app thing, I was talking to Matt about this, and it's not really. It's more the case of like I said to you the other day, Jem. I've got a backlog which I'm up to Sunday now. So I've done really well, you know, and I've been at the time to listen to podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, you then sort of become, okay, well, I've got to clear this list from this app. And then you forget about the other apps. Then you've got another list that's growing because, you know, you're still catching up on one app. And, you know, if it was all in one app, you can just because what I do, Jem, is listen to my podcasts as they drop. So I just listen to in the order in which they arrive. So I'm not choosing, okay, I'm going to listen to Telling Steve Dave now. I'm going to listen to Talking Codswallop or whatever.
Sorry, what was that last podcast?
Codswallop.
Because I think you called it Codswallop then.
Codswallop.
You're not supposed to get your own podcast wrong.
I know.
It's something to do with a fish.
Yeah.
I have a speech defect.
I am Michael. No, I'm Michael
My
Fish.
name is Michael Kane.
Yeah, I was going to say Michael Fish, the weather reporter. Yeah.
Isn't he the pedo?
I don't know.
No. I don't think he's ever been in trouble like.
Oh no, that was the other weather forecaster, wasn't it?
What weather forecaster? Oh,
Fred
Talbot.
Fred Talbot, yeah, who did the big map thing in the Mersey
on this morning.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's in prison.
I was going to say, to be honest, he did seem a bit creepy anyway, didn't he?
Yeah, I think anyone who wears those sort of jumpers, I think that's an immediate warning.
Yeah, definitely. And also, unless it's Christmas, because it's a Christmas jumper.
Oh.
Yeah, but then they just disguise themselves amongst other people.
Yeah. Well, sometimes Christmas jumpers are okay, James, but not this time of year in July.
No, they've never worked for me ever, I'm afraid. I'm not a Christmas jumper guy.
No.
So.
Oh, you don't ever want to have a big snowman on your jumper?
No, I'd rather cut myself.
Oh dear.
With the big fucking pom-pom.
So, James, I don't want to die. James does.
Yeah. Hey, head wound. Keep going.
That's it. Well, listen, you know, if you ever want to send James a subtle signal that he should kill himself, just send him a Christmas jumper, listeners. The more pom-poms on it,
It's really
the better.
bad that we just, all three of us, just laughed at that imagery.
Yeah, with that idea of suicide. Oh, dear.
Yeah. Suicide's no joke.
No, it's not.
No.
Yeah, it's not a joke. And there's not snowballs hell in chance that I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Even if it's a soda
crickets
pom-pom
after that
ball.
one. Sorry, James.
Oh, my joke didn't land.
No, I didn't hear yours. Because I still said about, because you said it's no joke, so I was laughing at that. Then James said another pun, and then I said crickets after that, and then you said something, but I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah.
Go on.
I said even if it was a pom-pom one.
No, you're right, it didn't land.
It didn't land.
Sorry, Andy.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Yeah. Like Christmas jumpers, if it was a snowball, it would be a 3D one, so it would be a pom-pom that's sewed on.
Oh, I'm really glad that I made you explain that.
I think that's too visual, Andy.
My jokes are too visual. You're blind, get glasses.
Anyway, moving on. Has anyone got any Codswallop this week?
Yes, people who don't get my jokes.
I really like it when you make yourself laugh. It's so funny. Oh dear.
Well, if I don't make myself laugh, you know.
Gotta make somebody laugh, so you know.
Well, I've got some Codswallop this week. Can I go first? Because I never go first. And I especially didn't go first on the episode where we lost it. But
Go lurst. Did you say go lurst?
no, I said first, but I've got a slight lisp.
First.
So thank you ever so much for highlighting the fact that I've got a lisp.
Hashtag didn't mean to bully.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Right, well, my Codswallop this week then is because of the weather being so lovely and warm just lately, we finally got some sunshine, which is really nice. And it's like 30 degrees on Saturday, wasn't it? Well, it was for me anyway.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, 33 for us. Yeah.
Yeah, which
very
is
nice and warm.
for our US listeners or for the Fahrenheit people, it's about 90, 91, 92 sort of thing. So it's giant heats for us anyway. So I've been walking around, finally sort of allowing my little white legs out. They're not little, but they're really long is what I mean by that. And, yeah.
The milk bottle legs are out.
But but the thing is I get really, really self-conscious about them because they are so white. Like, if you take a piece of paper that my legs are probably whiter.
I was going to say you use them as like a white balancing test then.
Yeah. Basically, my joke is that if I actually hold them up to hold them out, and the sun reflects off them, so that's why they're so white.
They're so white, goths get jealous and ask you what you're using.
Yeah, exactly. I used to be a goth, so that used to be quite good. But
I think you should post goth gem pics on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With your black lipstick. Or purple. Were you purple or black lipstick girl?
I was purple.
Purple.
Yeah. I don't know if I've got any pictures, because I never really took any. Because,
Well, yeah, you must have been true goth then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The light it burns.
Yeah, she feared the light, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was always dark, so dark.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to my Codswallop. So, the reason that I'm bringing that all up is because I went into work yesterday, so yesterday being Monday, and the first thing that 2 of my colleagues did was walk up to me, put their legs right next to them so that they felt better about the fact that they had a tan. And bearing in mind, I know that James has just laughed, and Andy potentially has as well, but bearing in mind, I said at the beginning, I'm really paranoid about my legs, and I usually just walk around without, sort of having them covered up for that reason. It makes me feel so self-conscious. It's not nice.
No, I mean...
That was a very nasty thing for them to have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I laugh mainly because just the weirdness of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I didn't take any offence by it, James. Don't worry. But I also said, and okay, this is going to sound bad probably when I say it, but if I had have been a black person, they wouldn't walk up to me and do the same thing. But because obviously
no, but they definitely lose on the tan thing, wouldn't they, did that?
Yeah, but
Asian or Persian.
Yeah, but my point is that if I was of a different ethnic, yeah, exactly. Thank you, James. Then they wouldn't be laughing about the colour of how white my legs are, or the colour of my legs, or whatever. And no. I'm not in any way comparing myself to a black person, or any other race or anything like that. But I am saying that at the same time, if it's something that makes you feel self-conscious, it's quite a big thing.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
People just need to get a fucking life and sort their shit out. Anyway, so that's my Codswallop this week. So what are you...
No, I know what you mean. Like, because I tan quite easily. And I'm fairly bronzed. And it's like, people come and put their arm up next to me and go, oh, because I'm dark, I've gone darker than they have, and they thought they were like Stavros. And then next to me, they look like a ginger, white person.
So me. That's what you're trying not to allude to then.
So have they gone pink and you've got a nice brown colour?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm Stavros in this scenario now,
Who's Stavros?
A nice Mediterranean tan.
Who's Stavros?
Yes.
I think the question was who's Stavros, wasn't it?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. It was generic Greek person.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So, that nice Mediterranean tan.
Mm-hmm.
Stavros was the kebab shop owner, wasn't he? On Harry Enfield, I think.
I think so, yeah.
The only way I would ever get that is if I put fake tan on, and I'd never do that because I just can't.
Go on, do it, Jim. Do it. Go on, get a spray tan.
Do you know what I did actually once on my 18th birthday or 21st, one of the two. It was like a big birthday anyway. I got a spray tan done because I was going out that evening, so I wanted to look all like lovely and stuff. I'm not the girly, you probably get this already, that I'm not the girly girl kind of girl, but how many times did I want to say girl? I know.
I'm a girl.
She be a girl.
I be a girl, I am, and I can't help it that I roll my R's, alright?
And I can prove it.
But anyway, so this one occasion that I decided to be all feminine and girly, and this basically I just went orange.
Yeah.
I literally went orange.
Tango, basically.
And I have got a photo of that.
Oh, sweet.
So if the listeners, they have to do something. and I haven't decided what yet. But if they
No, I think we just need to go #orange yes or #orange no. That's enough.
Okay.
And then the amount of whoever gets the most hashtag wins, and you either post or don't post.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair enough.
Good.
But they also have to, or they have to at Codswallop Pod as well, so that it's, so that we're advertising ourselves, maybe?
Correct, yeah.
Shameless.
Of course.
That's the only way to be.
I'm in it to win it, Andy. I'm in it to win it. But anyway, I will share it with you guys, because it is quite horrendous. But, yeah, so I don't think I'd ever have a fake tan again for that reason.
Well, it looks so good on Trump, doesn't it? There's an advert.
Yeah.
Sometimes he looks a normal colour, and other times he literally looked orange.
You can tell by the eyes just how fresh that is.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand how it can go so orange, though.
That's because it's brand spanking new.
Ooh.
That's a fresh one.
Yeah,
fresh coat.
Yeah, that's the same with, was it David Dickinson on the BBC?
Oh, yeah, he used to be weird coat. But he wasn't as orange. He had more like a dark brown mahogany, didn't he, I think?
Well, if you notice, American TV is a lot brighter. There's a lot sharper. Ours is a lot duller, so,
especially
Trump is under the glare.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially when David Dickinson was on that programme. I can't remember what it was called. Antiques Roadshow.
Cash in the Attic.
No, it wasn't.
Real Deal?
Real Deal.
Yes, he was on that one.
Yeah.
But the one that I was thinking of was a different one, where there was two teams. There was a red team and a blue team, and they had to go round an antique fair, and they had like £100, and they had to spend it wisely and try and make a profit.
Spend it wisely.
Yes, but I can't remember what it was called. I've probably just named it by saying all of that.
Yeah. Well, our American audience are still going to be like, yeah, but
they'll be so confused.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to look it up because it's really going to bug me.
They'll be going, who's this orange David Dickinson man?
Carry on, though.
Yeah, basically, you better just pouring crease all over yourself.
Yeah. No, I'm not a big fan of the fake tan jobs.
No, me neither.
In fact, too much makeup in general is a big turn off for me.
Oh, you'd love me then, because I wear no makeup.
You'll be a plain Jane.
Yeah. Well, you can't...
Oh, Andy, that's a knife and you meant to say natural beauty. Come on, man.
Sorry, yes. But no, I prefer a plain Jane.
Ah. It's bargain hunt.
That was it.
I remember that.
So, but there was some other thing. But yeah, or I have a little bit of makeup on my eyes and that's it. Going back to makeup.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't look like you've just basically walked through the makeup department and tried everything.
No, yeah, exactly.
And then you've gone, fillers? Are they free? Yeah, I'll have the...
Yeah.
That could be my Codswallop. Yeah.
Oh, did you have no Codswallop this week, or are you just grasping at straws?
No, I don't really have any Codswallop this week.
Andy, what the fuck? Who are you?
That's worrying.
I think I just wore myself out.
Yeah.
On the lost episode.
Or did you win a...
No, it's been a relatively good week. So I would literally be clutching at straws to come up with a Codswallop.
Okay. Well, that's good.
A meaningful one.
That's good in a way.
Unless you want to get me on the subject of apps and having to go to multiple apps just to get music.
Well, I mean, you've already covered that, so that'll stay in. So, I mean, if you want to carry on and rant a little bit longer, you're more than welcome to.
Let me get my second wind.
Because it gives us a glimpse into the future of Andy, basically. Where I become even more curmudgeonly and annoyed by
it. But
and they're shouting, I can't work my television.
Oh, I've got a question for you.
Yeah, but just because it's just on topic of that very, very quickly. I was going to say, though, if Andy is actually in a good mood, should we be poking the bear to actually piss him off?
Yes. Get a really sharp stick.
Because I'm thinking no. Just leave him.
Come on, bear. Let's see what you got.
Can you run a Twitter poll for 15 minutes?
Yeah.
See what Nathan and Ben say.
And a few others.
Yeah. But, Nathan and Ben, I think, are, super fans.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And Bob. I love Bob.
Yep.
Love you, Bob.
And Graham. Who else?
Oh, and
Who
Graham.
else are super fans?
And Lucy.
Name our super fans, yeah.
Lucy. Love you, Lucy. Still can't say your Twitter handle. Never going to try again because I can't say it. So, and she always picks on me. So,
I always read it as cankerous, but I know it's not. It's catonius or something.
yeah, I think that's probably right. To be honest, that'll do, Lucy, wouldn't it?
Well, that's only Lucy, and she supports Leicester Tigers.
What did you? Oh, sorry, Andy. What did you actually say then?
And she supports Leicester Tigers.
Oh, okay. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
No, it's not a good thing at all.
I have no idea.
No,
Sport.
no, she'd be better. She'd be better for supporting the Saints. So it's rugby.
Okay. The Saints are from Southampton.
Catonius. No, Northampton Saints Rugby Club, not Southampton Saints Football Club.
Oh, okay. But, Andy, how impressed were you that I knew that Southampton had a team that were called the Saints?
Yeah. Were you grasping at straws?
A little bit.
Is that because you saw some people in red and white chanting, "Come on, you Saints"?
It was because I was on a train to Southampton once, and then there was a lot of people on the train that was also wearing that sort of outfit, sportswear. So,
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Carly, who listens to us, she's a big Southampton Saints fan.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
Sorry, that was as much as I could muster for.
That was genuine from Gemma, by the way.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, if anyone didn't see, this week, Gemma slandered our national game.
Yes, I did. And I did it with such pride.
Yeah. And did you wash your mouth out with soap?
No, but that actually, thank you. That reminds me. Thank you for telling. I can tell the story now. I actually swore when I was a kid. And, I don't know, 5, 6, that sort of age. And my mum said, "I'm going to wash your mouth out with soap if you carry on, if you naughty girl, blah, blah, blah." She got a bar of soap and literally rubbed it against my teeth for the fact that, a couple of days later, I was still blowing bubbles.
Yeah, taught you a lesson, though.
Yeah. I think I only said crap. Now I'm saying,
how many times has she walked past with the soap since she's heard the episodes?
I was going to say it's redundant now because it's failed miserably as an adult.
She's got the hand pump now, constantly pumping away.
Yeah. Oh, that's probably why in the morning I wake up with a soapy taste in my mouth.
To be fair, though, health's been better now that it's the stuff that's got a disinfectant built into it.
Oh yeah, definitely, much better now. But yes, I was saying that playing cricket and watching cricket was like watching paint dry.
In fact, you said I should go back to watching paint dry because it was more interesting.
No, I said I should, not you.
You should.
Yeah, no, I meant that. Okay, I put my little 2 cents forward, and then I said, "Right, guys, I'm going to go back and watch paint dry now because it's much more interesting."
Slandering cricket.
Yep.
I don't like cricket.
Sorry, started snoring halfway through reading that tweet. Sports snorts. So, in answer to your original question, no, you're not missing out on anything. Going to go back to watching the paint dry now.
Dear me.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Cricket.
Right.
I don't like cricket.
From the bastion of the cricket in the home nations, how does that make you feel, James?
I don't give a toss. I don't watch cricket.
I don't watch cricket, but I do love playing the game.
To be fair, I've never played the game. I have played rounders, which I guess is similar. Is it?
Not really.
It's a field game.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're hitting something and you got to catch something. So
yeah, and I always enjoyed rounders. So maybe as a game, I've never played it. So maybe one day, if we ever meet up, we could go play cricket.
Have a game of cricket.
Just the 3 of us.
Okay.
No, that's
we
what we
might
need.
need a few more people, but
Yeah.
Hey.
I mean, generally you have 11 people on the field and then 2 batsmen.
No, surely we could do it with 3 though. We just somebody who's throwing the ball, somebody who's hitting the ball, and somebody who's going to catch it.
Yeah, but you know what will happen? You'll stand to the left of the batsman, and then the batsperson will just smack it to the right every time.
Wow.
I can see why sports is lost on you.
It's because I really don't give a shit. No, honestly, sports is just...
No, I know.
Yeah.
I just like... I like football, but I don't like it enough to watch it live. I'll watch a match of the day on Saturday, and even then I'm just fast-forwarding to the Liverpool games.
Yeah.
And the other top four. I like rugby, but I'll only go and watch it live or watch the Six Nations.
See, I wouldn't mind watching like, this is genuine now, I wouldn't mind watching a rugby game live. I actually, out of all of the sports, rugby, and that's why we chose rugby to sort of commentate on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because...
Well, how far away are you from Exeter?
Not far.
Then you should go and watch the Exeter Chiefs play.
When?
Any time between August and June. I suggest you go in the warmer.
August and June?
August this year through to June next year.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't recommend going to your first game in the depths of winter. So try and go sort of late August, early summer.
Okay.
And just get yourself down to Exeter Chiefs. It'll suck because, they are just so fucking good. Destroyed everyone. But, taking nothing away from them.
Well, could I not just go to Portsmouth and...
I don't think Portsmouth have a good rugby team.
Okay.
As in they're not in the... You've got the Premiership... And then you've got everyone else who can barely throw the ball. No, that's really harsh, but there's a big difference between the Premier and the First Division. It's a massive, massive gulf. So anyone who goes down from the Premiership in relegation absolutely destroys the division below and then comes straight back up the next year. So, yeah, you go and watch it at the Exeter Chiefs. You'll see a world-class game being played.
Okay. Are you going to come?
No, it's just the way I'm sitting.
Are you going to go and watch the game?
I'll try my best.
What a shocking mental image that's given me.
I just giggled. But, as usual. But now I was going to say, you got family in Exeter, you could see them, see me, and see a game.
Yeah, I'll try and work something out.
Yeah. Have you got any Codswallop this week?
No, I'm okay.
Apart from falling over and hitting your head and...
Apart from banging my head and cutting my forehead, no, I got over that. It was a bit of a bastard moment, but, it is what it is. These things happen.
When did you actually do that? Today?
Yeah, today.
So James could be concussed while you're listening to this episode. James could be concussed. And,
yeah, but would you actually know any difference from how I normally am?
Well...
The man has a head injury, but we're not sure. He's still acting as strange as he normally does.
But Jem, don't you think, his Jimmy Potter impression needs to be photographed and tweeted out?
I think so. Yeah, because he did such a grand job at trying to get that jaggedy, what's it called?
Lightning bolt scar.
Yeah. Lightning bolt, apparently. Yeah, you did really well, but it was a straight line, wasn't it, James?
Yeah. I don't even follow Harry Potter, so, not a chance. Sorry, guys, you failed on that one miserably. To bomb a landed bomb, but no.
James, you're losing your movie kudos every time I bring up a popular movie reference, and it goes straight over your head.
If anything...
Well, I know what Harry Potter is, but I have no interest in it, so...
if anything, Andy, I have to say... This week, I think James is up there on the Eeyore scale.
It's my character. Don't you dare try and steal him from me.
No.
It's a head injury. See, it's just turned me into
I think so.
Into a miserable sod like you.
Aww.
I'll take that one on the chin.
You know, it's really funny because every time I sort of say that, or I hear James say it, I go, oh, maybe we shouldn't pick on Andy quite as much. Fuck it.
Yes, so, I was...
Hello?
Lost my train of thought. Yeah, no, then we're back in the room. Yeah.
Must have been a hell of a question.
It was. So, what do you think?
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, I've hung onto some clothes for far too long, and I was bitching to someone that you always get these charity bags through the door.
Yes.
And you never have anything to put in them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find something to put in them, and then you don't get anything. And then, after saying that to Matt, lo and behold, 2 days later, I get a charity bag through the door. It's like, woohoo! I can get rid of this stuff. And on the bag, it said it would also take electronics.
Right.
And that got me a thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 39 years of age.
Yeah.
I've got an Xbox 360, which is plugged in, but I don't play it.
Right.
I occasionally play it when my friend Adi comes down. We'll play a bit of Pro Evo Soccer, but more and more recently, we just haven't bothered.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, shall I put it in the charity bag? Or shall I bin it? Or shall I keep it?
Well, if you're going to give it to charity, I'd actually take you to a charity shop and hand it over and leave it in a bag.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a stingy motherfucker and say put it on eBay and make yourself some money, Andy.
Yeah, but it's an Xbox 360. The Xbox One's out.
To be honest.
Yeah, and it's got a teeny weeny hard drive on it. It's
got a teeny weeny.
Yeah, it has. It's 6 inches when it comes out to sea.
That's a good day.
Yeah. So, and also, a little insight to me. You always want to know me.
Mm-hmm.
I hate going out of my way to do things. So, like taking stuff to a charity shop, there isn't anything conveniently on the way for me to do things. So,
in that case,
option,
put it in the bag. Yeah. If they take electronics, put it in the bag.
Yeah. So it's like, should I, next time a charity bear comes through, should I just stick it in with the games and say goodbye? Or do I keep it for a rainy day?
Is there any specific charity you'd want to give to?
No. If a British Heart Foundation came through the door, that'd be premium choice. But no, at the end of the day, it's just like, it's just sat there gathering dust. It's one more thing for me to have to fucking clean. So no, just, it doesn't get played. So it's like, but the thing I hate throwing data away, and it's my saved games I'm more worried about. And it's one of these things, it's like keeping your old textbooks.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to look at them, but you're loath to throw them away. I'm the same with data. Even though you witnessed me callously delete my notes from my first ever episode, I am genuinely a data hoarder.
What use would you have of keeping the data, though? So if you don't play on it.
Do you suffer from the bag of cables syndrome?
A little, to a small degree, yeah.
Yeah. So you can empathise with not wanting to throw a cable away on the off chance that you may get to use that, or someone would go, oh, I need that. I need a cable. Do you have one? And you can delve into your bag of cables. So with the saved data, it's a case of, if I was ever in a situation where I could play Tony Hawk...
I'm really confused by this, because I can understand keeping a cable for something, but if you keep the data and you've actually got rid of the system, what use is the data?
Because if I had another friend, so I had more than one friend
so basically,
who had an Xbox, I could then take my data stick and go, do you fancy a game of Tony Hawk, or do you fancy a game of Worms, or Monopoly, or Pro Evolution Soccer? I've got my saved data.
I'm going to ask you a question. How many friends have you got an Xbox 360 that you know?
Two. My two best friends, Matt and Adi.
But then,
but we don't.
But then
neither
you
of us
said,
play.
sorry, but then you said that you only play it when they come down. Yes?
Infrequently. Well, Matt and I would play the racing games, and I don't have any racing
But you don't do it, so you don't do it online or anything like that. You just do it in person. So
no,
and
that's the other thing.
Couldn't they just bring
£5 a month?
But that's what I was going to say. Couldn't they just bring their Xbox down if they think that you're going to play it?
No, because their Xboxes don't have HDMI connections. Mine's the only one with a HDMI connection.
Oh well, what a conundrum.
Yeah. It's one of these things. It's more about the data. The saved data. So I've got the games that I've played, where I'm up to, all my achievements. Like Adi and I play Pro Evolution Soccer, so we've got at least 4 games that go into about 7 seasons, so in like 2027 or something stupid like that. So we've got all those hours of gameplay sort of saved. But yeah, it's one of these things, and I'm paying £5 a month for the Xbox.
I think Andy has already convinced himself that he wants to keep it.
I want to get rid of it, and I just don't have a compelling reason. It's the data.
Put it to a poll, and Andy can ignore the results and do whatever he's going to do.
Yeah, a bit like my mum when she asks me if, oh, Gemma, what do you think of this? Shall I keep it here or shall I move it over there? I'm like, you just do whatever you're going to do, because I'll give you my advice and you're going to do the opposite anyway.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Yeah.
My friend's girlfriend will ask him a question, he'll answer it, and then she'll immediately Google her question to check that his answer is right. So now he's just to the point where she asks him a question, and you go, just Google it.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Whereas I believe everything and then realise later on that I'm very naive.
Yeah.
Which is quite fun sometimes. It's fun being naive sometimes.
Yes, it just can get you into a lot of trouble.
This is true.
Yeah, but you don't...
Never trust holes in toilets.
But you don't know that you're getting into trouble. Not until it's too late.
Yeah. Not until something's flopping in your face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, hello.
To be fair, Andy, it's been in a while, so, would that be trouble?
Be like you meet a Tyrannosaurus Rex again. Oh, hello.
Yeah. Oh.
Whereas me, James, are like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I am rather thinking what the fuck, but keep going.
No. So anyway, we're all, two of us are back from being nice and refreshed, because I also went for a wee. And
no, I went as well, actually.
Oh, did you? All three of us. Did you mute yourself?
No need. My toilet is all the way down the hall, and I close both doors to this room and to the toilet. So.
Well, Andy hasn't got doors, so...
Well, no, the things I do have on the bathroom, but because I live by myself,
yeah,
I don't need no privacy.
Unless you're recording an episode with two friends who don't want to hear you pissing.
Well, at least you don't hear, as the boys, PBR boys would say, you don't hear stinker tinker time.
No. Yeah, absolutely right. And actually, when I'm saying that two friends listening to you, because actually that's not the case, it's just one.
You have to guess which one.
Me. So yes, next week's episode, we have got the lovely Jerry Rocker.
What's the podcast, James? What's it called?
What's the podcast? Yeah, the podcast that you listen to, James.
The one that always shouts you out.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I can't say anything. I feel I'm taken away from you two. You could say that.
The Rumble? The Rumble.
The Rimbles?
The Rimbles. The Ruttles?
The Ruscalls. The
no, the Ramble podcast with Eddie Pence. That's the one.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah. He was on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, Eddie Pence, who's also been on our show. Obviously, we told him we were going to listen to the Ramble. Two of the three of us did, and yeah.
There we go, listeners. Two of us will always keep our promises.
Yeah. And our names begin with G and A.
The perfect hosts.
Hey, never make promises you can't keep.
We do. We always like to make sure that everybody is happy on this podcast, apart from ourselves.
Yeah, we're all miserable. You can't tell that, mate.
We like to service our guests.
Yeah.
Well.
But we are looking forward to getting Jerry Rocker on the show, because he's also a stand-up comedian as well, and there's also quite a bit more about him as well. So hopefully get quite an interesting interview with him, but also he's a darn right funny guy. So I think we're just going to have a good old laugh with him as well. So stay tuned for that episode.
As long as Andy keeps his audio.
Yeah, I will back it up with recording, so don't worry. You know what's really funny, actually? I turned around to Jerry and I said, is there any chance you could record your own audio?
Yeah.
And
run your own questions.
Yeah. And also
just interview yourself, you'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. And also a return of Name That Reverse Tune as well will be played. So that's very exciting.
What are the championship scores at the moment, Jem?
Do you know, I really should keep a note of that, because I actually don't know.
Listeners, can someone tweet Jem?
Yeah.
How many games James has won and how many I've lost?
No,
I think, to be fair, it's more the other way around.
Yeah, I think...
No, I think you're on a winning streak. I think you can take this as your third win in a row.
Well, no, he hasn't played it yet, so... But no, I was actually thinking of getting a, like a piece of paper where I'm just putting everybody's faces and they just move up.
Well, obviously, the guests are the special guest players, and the league is James and I.
Yes, yeah, indeed. But it's going to be like a, other programs have done it, like a leaderboard type thing, So, yeah.
Like Top Gear.
Yeah, exactly. So
Did you watch this week's episode of Top Gear?
No.
I've not watched it for years.
Oh.
But anyway, what happened?
Well, it's just because Zara and is it Mike? No, it's not Mike Tyndall, is it? Who's Sarah Phillips married to? Yeah, Mike
Tyndall.
So Sarah and Mike were on it in the stars in the reasonably priced car.
Mm-hmm.
And how long have they been married now? Could be a good
It's a few
5+
years, I
years,
think, isn't it?
Yeah, and I tell you what, just how tactile they were together. Just obvious love for each other, and just really enjoyed being together. It's like, you've got it.
Aww.
Yeah, that was like, I wish I could be in a relationship like that.
Yeah.
See, to be fair, Andy, I was expecting you to say it like disgusted you or something when you were...
No, it was one of those rare soft moments.
Aww.
So you went from being a hard toffee chocolate to a soft-scented chocolate.
Yes. It's the heat. It's melted my hard exterior, mate.
Yep.
Oh, and warmed his cold, dead heart.
Hey, steady on. Let's not go over the top.
Yeah. You put it straight back in the freezer afterwards. So.
Yeah. It's made his heart go boom, 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 boom. Yeah. No, that's actually really nice, isn't it, though, when you actually do see somebody who, like, truly, they truly do love each other. It's really nice.
Yeah, you've got it. Yeah, you know what that's about.
Yeah.
You're going to be like that in your 90s.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I might finally find someone when I'm 90 and then...
Yeah, I'm bitterly jealous that they've fucking got it.
For me, I'd be optimistic given happy I've actually lived into my 90s.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be
I don't think it's going to happen.
The way you're carrying on, mate, Jesus.
Yeah, it's true. They just found me at the bottom of the stairs.
Just remember, where there's a blame, there's a claim.
Who the hell am I going to sue myself?
Yep. You sue your insurance company for not ensuring that you were adequately briefed in health and safety aspects of your house.
You know what cracked me up when this happened?
Bada-boom. I know you weren't even punning then, but...
No, I wasn't. But as I'm carrying all the wooden stuff down the loft ladder, I'm thinking, God, I hope I don't fall down the loft ladder. So nothing happens there. I do one little move and boom.
That is the dangers of living by yourself.
Yeah, well, it's true.
Yeah. Loft.
You've got to do things on your own,
that the listeners won't know about. Having to get into the loft by myself was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened to with the tank?
Oh, I could give the conclusion to the story that the listeners won't know the beginning to. Yeah. So, So he, Jem, he swapped out my ball cock.
Saucy. Carry on.
And he emptied my my back pipe. Yeah, so lodged in the overflow pipe was a spider's nest.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he just unplugged that, and now if my tank does overfill, it's going to now actually overflow out. But the spider's nest was so tightly plugged in that it created an air gap, so basically the water never got down the pipe.
Wow.
Aww. So it wasn't Incy Wincy Spider walking down the pipe after all, he was making a nest in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, laying all the egg sacs.
Fuck spiders, I hate them.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered by spiders.
So I've had the windows and doors replaced last October, and there's already 2 egg sacs that a spider's popped itself onto the top corner. So it doesn't take them long to take over the space. So once those bad boys hatch, I'll clean all that off.
Aww. You're like one with the animals this week, Andy.
I'm always at one with the animal. I don't needlessly kill insects unless it's going after my food, in which case it can fuck right off.
Yeah. We've been irritated by irritating fly in the office this week. But it was quite funny because when my dad before my dad passed away, he jokingly said he was going to come back as an irritating fly. And so every time an irritating fly is around, I keep going, "Hi, Dad!"
Nice.
And
Go on.
sorry, I was going to say, and obviously I tell my my colleagues and that what the story is beforehand. Nobody looks at me like weird or anything.
No, you shouldn't. You should stop doing that.
Yeah, don't do it. Just, see what the reaction is.
Yeah, that would actually be more funny. You're right.
But strangely insect related, when I was first living in Bonn, I was outside having lunch and a wasp landed on my colleague's plate and she was having a chicken salad. And we all watched as this wasp sat down on this hunk of chicken, chewed off a piece and then flew away with it. 5 minutes later, came back and did exactly the same thing.
Oh my God, that's really weird.
Didn't even know wasp did that.
No.
Well, that's when I then realised in the early part of summer, they need protein because they're off, they're mating and feeding the nest. in the later part of summer, they need sugar to fuel them and get them through into the winter hibernation. So that's why they always buzz around your drinks can in sort of August, September time. But beforehand, they're always buzzing around your food because they need the protein.
Ah, see? This is education.
This is.
Yeah, so it was like... So now, whenever I see a wasp buzzing around, I'll just leave it. It's like, fuck it, you can have it, mate.
No, I hate wasps.
Last week's episode, you told us about tigers liking water. This week's episode, you're telling us about wasps that are meat eaters. For reasons that you just said. I'm not going to go through it all again because you just said it. I think we need an Andy's Animal Corner.
Come up with a little jingle.
Yeah. Rawr.
Just get that. Have you still got that clip of audio? Levi purring.
Yes, I think so.
That could be it.
I may not have it though. That's the only thing. But yeah. If not, couldn't you get it? You've got a microphone and the cat.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I should record his squawks and purring, and he does a great meerkat impression where he goes on his back legs wanting attention.
Aww.
You know, was it Puss in Boots where he's clutching his hat with his big eyes?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Levi.
Well, it was
the hat and the boots.
Yeah, I was going to say it was technically Shrek, but yeah, Puss in Boots was actually the cat. So yeah.
The cat's name. Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Oh my God,
you tap dancing. Oh, James did one of those flourishes.
Yeah.
Just hands.
Okay, well, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this is the end of the episode.
The actual end?
The real end. The end of the end.
The end of the episode, the end of the podcast.
And you still don't want to kill yourself.
No, and I still don't want to kill myself, so that's fine.
Great.
Yeah, so... I guess you guys don't have anything else to talk about because we kind of have drifted onto a natural end.
A natural conclusion.
And the energy's left the room.
Yeah. I'm flat as a pancake now.
That's what she said.
That's what she didn't want to say.
Yeah. That was embarrassing.
Yeah. So, thank you for listening to this week's Talking Codswallop. I have been Jebba.
Been James.
I've been Andy.
You did this with your mouth. Like, you talked yourself into this.
Well, if you're interesting at all, you should do a podcast.
I was doing a radio show for years before I podcasted it.
I don't think people realise just how liberating and freeing and inspiring podcasting can be.
Yeah, even if just walking into any genre of podcasting, you're walking into community.
The reason podcasts connect so much is it feels more personal.
What we learned pretty quickly is that only 1 or 2% of the people who listen ever donate. Most people don't. People are used to free media, advertising supported media.
At the moment, podcasting for us isn't a business, and it's not designed to be it.
You know, running something as a business or being paid doesn't always mean dollars, pounds, euros. It can be payment in another way.
One voice, one mic. A short documentary about the rise of podcasting. Coming 2019.
Plug in, record, send it to iTunes, boom, congratulations, you're a podcast.